The sun rose slow on a broken town. Factories closed, machines shut down. Promises made, but none were kept. Dreams turned to dust while the people wept. 90 days of fleeting chance, a lifeline lost in a reckless dance. The clock ran out, now it's too late. Unemployment's the cruelest fate. The tariffs came, they hit like a storm. Families braced to keep their homes warm. A pause was given, a moment to act, but the time was wasted, that's a hard fact. 90 days of fleeting chance, a lifeline lost in a reckless dance. The clock ran out, now it's too late. Unemployment's the cruelest fate. Leaders spoke with words so grand, but their hollow deeds we can't withstand. The people begged, the people cried. Now hope's a stranger on this side. Misery's knocking, poverty's near, a future clouded by doubt and fear. If only they'd fought to make things right, we wouldn't be lost in this endless night.
Sunsets and skies so blue, mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder then shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies, they weave their weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know it all.
Good evening, good morning, folks. Welcome back to the program. It's Chris live in central Pennsylvania on a Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Late at night for the night owls here on the east coast of the United States, 11:07. That clock is falling behind again. I've got to fix it. Yeah, welcome back to the program. Earlier today, someone asked me to take a look at a Trevor Noah podcast. Apparently, Dan Corder was on it. I just watched 16 minutes of a 2-hour broadcast, and I have to say that it took me several minutes to clean the vomit out after I vomited. It's repulsive, it's disgusting, it's race hustling, it's sickening, it's twisted, it's perverted, it's sad, it's pathetic, and it's nothing but a passel of lies. People who see only skin color and tell stupid jokes and laugh about the murder and torture of people and deny the existence of it. Then they come out with their canard that they created and blame it on other people, the so-called white genocide that the leftists have been pushing for 15 years to distract from what's really happening out there, trying to deny something that they created. It's really bad. I hear Dan Corder call Ernst Rutz a grifter. Well, I guess Ernst could say the same thing of Dan Corder, because the patently blatant lies that he tells on air are just nauseating, to say the very least. It's pathetic. It's really, really sad to see that people behave in such an atrocious fashion. And they sit there and laugh about the murder. A friend of mine's mother just went through an attack and was nearly murdered, and her partner was murdered on a farm near Brits. They think that's funny. And they deny that they were targeted because they're white. Well, of course they were targeted because they're white. 3 nights in a row, they're white and elderly, easy victims, and that's why they were targeted. Their black neighbors who are farmers weren't targeted. No black people were targeted. They were targeted. And to listen to this nonsense, it's repulsive. Also to listen to this stupid-ass, poor, pathetic imitation by Trevor Noah, who has never been funny since he left South Africa. He was mildly funny as a comedian in South Africa, but he just became a race-hustling asswipe when he got to America, and he was unwatchable. So I'm glad he's back in South Africa, but I can see he's up to the same thing he's up to in the U.S. It's pathetic. It's really sad. These jerk-offs are basically calling all white people responsible for events that happened before over half of them were even born. And of course, when you bring that up, they immediately deflect to, well, but these are the beneficiaries of it. What a bunch of bullshit. The children without shoes with dirt on their face living on Phoenix, living in the Philadelphia Arc are not responsible for what happened and not have benefited one iota from what happened. In fact, they've been subjected to racial discrimination. And this nonsense, listen, these asswipes claim that racial discrimination is usually like whites are better victims. Well, dumbasses, get your head out of your rectums and learn about history. The Irish were targeted by England. The Irish were sent as slaves, not indentured servants, slaves to the Caribbean. How do you think we got Rihanna? Do her DNA. You'll find she's got Irish in her, because they enslaved the Irish and sent them to work the sugarcane fields until they could get Africans to do it later on. So learn what you're talking about. 4 million Germans were butchered by the Soviets and by rabid gangs fleeing from the Eastern German territories where they lived for over 1,000 years. You want to talk about white oppression and genocide? Well, there's a good example of it there. Jews have been the victims of pogroms for millennia in Europe and the Middle East. This idiotic, callous indifference and stupidity from talking pinheads is just sickening, disgusting. And you know, let's flip the script. If it wasn't Trevor Noah and Dan Quarter and some other guy I've never heard of sitting there, if it wasn't them and two of the three people, well, one of the people was white, one was black, and one was mixed race, and they were telling jokes about black people and not accepting their suffering. It's sick and twisted. I mean, you know, look, I know you deal with Tom every day, but I'm calling it out for what it is. It's disgusting. And the fact that he has 200,000 or 325,000 subscribers and 239,000 people watch this puke-inducing bile. I've only watched 16 minutes, and I just couldn't stomach any more of it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. These historically ignorant asswipes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's you know, stupid people, I swear to God. Unbelievable. And Trevor Noah goes, you know, every time I go to Australia and I meet South Africans, you know, none of them say they voted for apartheid. Well, it's almost not even answering here. So, yeah. And as far as grifters, Dan, yeah, let's start with you, buddy. Let's start with you. Grifters, give me a freaking break. Wow. None of these turd balls lived through apartheid. Yet they're experts on apartheid. They're all privileged, rich, elites, handed things in their life. Yet they're experts on apartheid. They don't live in informal settlements. They've probably never been to one, yet they're experts on the economy in South Africa. None of them have degrees in economics. None of them have postgraduate degrees to my knowledge. Maybe they do. Not that that matters. But they're just, ugh. Look, you know, these little shitheads turn this stuff around. Oh, when white people are victims, they're special. No, when black people are victims, you scumbags play this game of they're special. They're no more special than anyone else. All people have suffered oppression. It's the history of mankind. And any dingbat dumbass that denies that is really just a fool. And don't give me this bullshit that white people are oppressors. The freaking Arabs came out of the Middle East and oppressed and slaughtered the white people in North Africa and tried to take all of Europe. Have you forgotten about that? Yes. Have you forgotten about the slaughter of the whites in the Congo? When the Congo went up? Have you forgotten about that? But they simply categorize all white people and just stereotype everything. I never categorize all black people. Well, first off, I don't think most black people are nearly as dumb as Trevor Noah and the other people on that panel. Not anywhere near as dumb. Yeah, they just want to be relevant. And what they do is they harm racial relations and they stoke racial hatred. I mean, I don't hate black people, but watching this stuff, if I watch these idiots, I mean, if I saw them as examples of black people, I'd probably be inclined to want to hate people because of their bile and their lies. It's their uninformed drivel. So completely ignorant of reality. It's disgusting. I don't know what to say. I know Trevor's a say. He's been a sellout since he went to America. Like I said, he was entertaining mildly. You know the funniest comedian in South Africa? It's Rian Moose, or whatever his name, the Indian doctor. That guy is freaking hilarious. The Indian doctor is the funniest guy I've ever heard in South Africa. Yeah, he's even funnier than Barry Hilton, sorry. Not ex-apartheid, but rather having real problem processing their incompetence. Yeah. Yeah, it's nauseating, Annalene. And white people will never be the victims. And if white people speak up... So I listened to Dan Quarter's erudite, thoughtful, thesis quality freaking analysis of when the white genocide myth started. It started when it was pushed by leftists. But they claim it was pushed by grifters on the right. No, it was pushed by leftists. They're the ones. So who brought up the white genocide in the Afrikaner briefing today? Or yesterday? Not the Afrikaners. It was a journalist. The journalist raised it. Who brought up the term genocide at the conference or the meeting in the White House? Not Trump. He didn't say white genocide. And they all lie about it. And these little shitbirds lie about it too in their little conversation. Watch the footage. Trump didn't say white genocide. He was asked a direct question. Do you still believe in the concept of white genocide? Which Trump said, I'm not convinced of that. But not a single media outlet reports that. The video is there. It's not rocket science. Just go back and watch it. Trump says, I'm not convinced of that when asked about whether he believed in the concept of white genocide in South Africa. That's what he said. That's not what they reported. Then he was asked by Annika Larson, what will it take for you to be convinced there isn't a white genocide? Didn't even get a chance to answer the question. Cyril Poset interrupted his host and rudely said, I'll answer that question. And then he lectured Trump. Things went very badly after that. Very badly after that. Are you talking about the Hodge twins, Marius? Yeah, I'm suffering black victimhood fatigue myself. I'm really sick of it. I'm really sick of it. We have had racist laws in this country since the 1960s. Affirmative action, denying people access based on their skin color. Look at Harvard. 75% of Americans are white, yet less than 20% of the incoming class is white. You're telling me white people can't achieve the same level as everyone else? That's bullshit. It's because they're being racially denied access to Harvard. That's the bottom line. And Asians, the same thing. Utter nonsense. I never saw Dan Corder before he went to ENCA. Never saw him. Yes, Conrad, that is a massacre. But that's not an accurate figure you're giving there, Conrad. Let me explain something. The 33,000 figure you're giving is 30,000 actual farmers. The people murdered include their family members, their spouses, and their children who are not the farmers. The number of 68,000 farmers in 1994, which has dwindled down to 28 to 32,000, somewhere in that range, that's the actual farmer. The owner of the farm, that's the farmer. His 4 kids and his wife aren't, and oftentimes they're all killed. So, yeah, you got to be careful with statistics there because that's not entirely accurate, okay? Yeah, 4,000 people murdered, that's correct, on farms. White people murdered on farms. That's probably almost exact numbers. Probably somewhere around 3,800, 4,000 at this stage. And to hear them making stupid comments about, yeah, I can name people. You can name anybody because you don't give a flip. Because you're race hustlers. Because you're vile, repulsive creatures of an order that ignores the plight of human beings. By the way, not one thing they did uplifted black people. I listened to them rail on about white genocide for 16 minutes. They never said one thing to help black people. Not one thing. All they did was demonize white people. Most of whom were born after apartheid and have only been subjected to the racism of the ANC. Wow. They won't be forgotten in a week. He's got 300,000 subscribers. I struggle to get more. In fact, I lost a subscriber on the music video I did. People didn't like it apparently. I lost a subscriber. I only have 1,600 views on the MK video. Some people loved it. Some people didn't like it. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, struggling to get views in some of these videos now. Where's the other one at? Hang on a second here. There it is. The Zimbabwe video is up to 93,000. I'm really hoping, almost 94,000. I'm really hoping it gets to 100,000 because I haven't had 100,000 in a while. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, some of these videos just losing subscribers on. It's frustrating. So anyway, yep. All these people, yeah, Chris, don't worry. We came here for the refugee stuff. We're going to stick with you. We watch your content. Well, they're not. They're not. All my videos were getting 100,000 views just a few weeks ago. Now they're not. So, yeah, Trevor's biracial. He's bipolar, obviously, too. Oh, he abandoned his Kosamam. I didn't know that. His father's Swiss. I know that much. Yeah. Oh, Arctic, you've been here. You're like Stickum. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, it's going on all over the globe. And when white people speak up, oh, you're not allowed to be a victim because you're an oppressor. You fuck off. I've never oppressed anybody, you shitheads. Never oppressed anybody. I've fought for people's freedom and rights all over the planet. So shut up. My ancestors fought to end slavery. 8 great-great-grandfathers alive in America during the Civil War. 7 fought. Not for the Confederacy, for the Union. All were volunteers. None were drafted. All were volunteers. All fought to end slavery. So shove it. Shove it, shove it, shove it. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about tonight. No. I said Trevor has 325,000 subscribers. So, all right. I thought I'd show some books tonight, some programs. So this is from 2019. This is the Cricket World Cup, May to July, England and Wales. I went to this. Edgbaston is where I went. I watched New Zealand play Pakistan. It felt like a Pakistan home game. Yes, it is because white people are way too nice. That's right. That's right. And they put up with crap. And a lot of white people betray white people. Yep. Instead of just all being people devolve to race. New Zealand versus South Africa, my first game at Yokohama on September 9th, 2019. New Zealand versus South Africa. You can see Mount Fuji here at the bottom, the sponsors across the bottom. Emirates, Heineken, Land Rover, MasterCard, Societe Generale, and DHL. This was 1,500 Rand, which I think was like $10 or $12. So that's the program for the first game I went to. And unfortunately, we lost that game. Cheslin Colby almost had this incredible try, but they stopped him at the last second. So that's that one. Then there's this one, Ireland versus Scotland, which was also in Yokohama the next day. Okay, September 22nd. There you go. I said September 9th for that one. I was mistaken. So that's game 4 on the schedule. Yeah, game 4. Game 4, September 21st. Okay. Game 6, September 22nd, Ireland, Scotland. That was a good game. Ireland won that game, which basically took Scotland out of the running for the whole thing. Then we have this one, which was Wales versus Georgia. This was the 23rd. This was in Tokyo Stadium, city of Tokyo Stadium. It's pretty cool. I like the purple on there. Wales versus Georgia. Obviously, Wales won that game. And that was, what game was that? It was game 8. And it was on the 23rd. Okay. Then game 9, Russia versus Samoa. This was on the 24th. And this was in Kumagaya. This was a really cool game. A nice stadium northwest of Tokyo. Lovely experience. The people in Kumagaya were amazing. They just all out in the streets. It was amazing. They're welcoming, showing. It was a long-ass walk, though, to the stadium. Man, there was no transportation. It was a long, long walk. I wouldn't make it now with my hip. It was amazing. But it was such a long walk. I had to go a long way to get there. So there you go. That was Russia versus Samoa. I went to 2 games there, and I actually met Sir Bill Beaumont on the train for the second game. He was on the train with me, sitting in the same car, because I had a first-class ticket. Then game 12, this one was on the 26th. This was in Kobe, and this was England versus USA. It's my first USA game. England rolled. I had a really good seat for this one, too. It was nice. Kobe was a nice place to be for the Rugby World Cup. Osaka's close by. Yep. Then Japan versus Ireland. This one was pretty cool. I actually didn't go to this game, but I got the program because they had it available when I went back to the stadium in Shizuku. And I said, well, why not buy it? Even though I didn't go, Japan versus Ireland, because Japan beat Ireland for this game. It was historic. So I bought this. Then game 15, I was at South Africa versus Namibia. This was on the 28th. This was in the city of Toyota Stadium. This seat was among the worst seats I had. I was like 2 or 1 row from the very top of the stadium at the corner. The good news for me is that most of the game was played right in front of me in the try-zone as the Springboks ran up the score. And their hideous pink, or not pink, but lime green jersey. It was horrible, those jerseys they had. Or were they white? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, this was City Tokyo. That was nice. This is a game where I was supposed to link up with Dolan Stanford, and we got confused. He was in a different town, and I was in a different town. He's like, you can't see me? I'm down here. I'm like, no. I'm like, where? And like, wait a second. I'm like, Dolan, where are you at? We were in different towns. Then my next game was back. It was in Kumagaya. This was Georgia versus Uruguay. This was on the 29th of September. This is game number 16. Okay. Is the chat dead? Is the channel dead? Is the live stream dead? Nope, still going. All right, next is game number 18. There we go. Scotland versus Samoa. This was on the 30th of September. This was back in Kobe. I barely remember this game, to be honest. I barely remember this game. Yep, so that was that one. Then game number 19, France versus USA. This was in Fukuoka, way down south. This game was unbelievable. The French fans were so obnoxious in the first half, but the USA was in the game and on the verge of, maybe taking the lead until about the 50th minute. And the French fans in the first half were so snotty, and then the USA came back and like, whoa, I got a little bit nervous, like they might be beat by the Americans. In the end, France won the game handily. They scored points late in the game, but the French finally shut their mouths up. I sat with the U.S. national team. In fact, Hanko Hemesheis, I sat with his mom at this game, which was pretty cool. France versus USA. This is another long walk to the stadium. The transport to this was terrible. This one sucked. So most of the stuff, a lot of long walks to get to stadiums in Japan. It was very frustrating. And I just couldn't do that now. I'm going to have to get this hip fixed. So Georgia versus Fiji. This was at Hanazano. And this one was is match number 21 on the 3rd of October. There you go. Okay. And then we've got match number 23, South Africa versus Italy. And this one was at Shizuoka Stadium. And this is where I met several of the guys who play with Quagga Smith in Japan. They were playing with him rugby. They're like, oh, we know Quagga. I'm like, how do you know Quagga? Well, they played for the team there at Shizuoka. He was playing for, or wherever he played at. Yeah, so they were there to support him. This was pretty cool. That was a nice stadium, but this is another one. It's not too far a walk from the train station, but it's not in town. And I got there and spent a whole day there because that's when the train got me there. So I had to wander around. I walked into town. It's a long walk. And then I think I found public transport coming back. But I went to the castle and spent the day there. Went and had some curry. Boy, the curry they have in this fast food joint in Japan is really good. Very spicy. Match number 24. This was Australia versus Uruguay. This game in Oita, I got there literally the last couple minutes of the game. I missed almost the entire game. Beautiful stadium. This was a long way. I had to take the bus, and then it was a super long walk of a couple kilometers to get to the damn stadium. That's my biggest complaint about Japan is all the long walking to get to the venues. It was annoying. So people who are handicapped probably would have had a tough time. Something I didn't consider at the time because I got around fine. Then the next one was Kumamoto again. Kumamoto was nice. Nice castle in Kumamoto. I had a good experience staying there. Lovely place, Kumamoto. This was match 28. It was France versus Tonga. But getting to the stadium was once again a big challenge, but managed to pull it off with the strange public transport. Yeah, not so easy. All right. Then that was also a super long walk from the public transport. Then South Africa versus Canada. This was back in Kobe, which was nice again. And this is when Kobus Reinach got a hat trick. And this one here, I sat in the end of the try zone, a few rows up, and almost all the action was in front of me. I saw Kobus score all three of his tries right in front of me. It's incredible. After this game, I went back to the hotel with the American team and had dinner with Gary Gold and the USA Rugby players and their families. That was super cool. Really enjoyed that. It's very nice of them. Then Scotland versus Russia. This was in Shizuoka. This was kind of a boring game. I guess got a lot of Russian games in this one. This was on the... the 10th of October. This is game number 31, Scotland versus Russia. Okay. And then this one here is game 33, Australia versus Georgia. Shizuoka again. I went to a lot of games in Shizuoka. I forgot there was that many. Australia versus Georgia. This was the game 33 on the 11th of October. And then my final game was USA versus Tonga. And this was on the 13th of October at Hanazano Stadium. I think I'm missing a program because I went to the stadium twice. This is USA versus Tonga, but I went there for another game. I can't remember what the other game was. So I went there in a game when it rained, and then I went to the USA Tonga. So I'm going to have to look and see. Or did I already see Hanazano? Anyway, that's in Osaka. That was nice. Anyway, so that's, and this is a cap from the 2019 Rugby World Cup with all the teams. I have these from 2011, 2015, 2019, and 2023. Yeah, so pretty cool. There's the Springboks back there. And USA is on here somewhere. Where's USA at? There it is right there. Isn't in color. Okay, cool. So there you go. I'm cooking here with this. Take this off. So, Mornay, how's it going? Did you make progress there? It's after midnight. Oh, yeah, I have all those caps. The blue ones are the best ones. I have also one in green for South African colors. It doesn't look so good. The blue ones really look good. The stuff stands out really well when it's blue. All right, let me say hello to everybody here. Tim Pulteney is here at the beginning. Karen Lang. Then we've got Vilma Rasmus, Dougie Ray, Steampunk, Angel Gaming, Bugger Off Bunny, Rian332, Mariki Bazidenhout, Annalie Rasmus, Legal Alien. I'm a legal alien. Sting. And then we got Mandy van Rooyen, AJ Quinn. And the countdown started 6 days left before the crap hits the fan. Well, I think the crap is already hitting the fan. And you can all take off. Greetings to all. Make today count. Yep. Guy Britz, welcome to you. Guy Britz. Heidi Kruger, Eneme Fori, Emerencia Quinn, Bugger Off Bunny, Pete Sten, Vilma Rasmus, Dylan Combrick, Lorenz Duplessis, Clive Kotsia, Caitlin, Hanneke Thron in Hermanus. Okay. Green Mamba Multipass, Leludals, Syncmaster, Karen. Debaram is back. Welcome. Marius Venter. Sven Handyman, welcome to you. Urban Homestead, Maddie, good morning. And then Tercia Muij, welcome to you. You're very welcome. Who else? Bloodcup is here, not experts on apartheid, rather having a real problem processing their incompetence. I'm with you. Dirk says, the Beanie confused free speech with facts. They just want to be relevant. True. Okay, John 5. Hi, John. I guess 4 others came before you. CB's back. Good to see you, CB. Haven't seen you in a couple days. Glad you're well. Just have a look at who's paying for Dan. Yep. Warren Sinden. Konrad Geldenhuis. Okay. Rakes is back. Arctic World figured out a long time ago how to exploit Western Christian values. Indeed. Indeed. Blind Adventure. Hey, Chris, do you think if the proverbial poop hits the proverbial fan, the other country's side just... No, I don't. I don't. None of these countries are run by legitimate politicians with the exception of Hungary. They don't want any foreigners. No, Russia's not going to take you. Ireland's not going to take you. Poland's not going to take you. Germany's not going to take you. France isn't going to take you. England is going to take you. New Zealand, Australia don't want you either. No one's going to... If the crap hits a fan, you better hope you can defend yourselves and or the U.S. gets involved because no one else is coming to your rescue. And there's nowhere to go. The Belgians could flee to Angola and Mozambique. They could flee to Belgium. They could flee to South Africa. The Portuguese could flee Angola for Namibia or South Africa. The Mozambique Portuguese could flee for South Africa. The Rhodesians could flee for South Africa if they felt the need to. There's nowhere left to flee except the South Atlantic. It's all over. It's game over. Morning says, good morning. I want to thank you and the 5 people that helped me since last night. Not close to being able to pay this morning. All right, well, there you go, Rainier. Or Morning, but then what about next month? You need to sort that out. Because people won't be able to help you all the time, so... Okay, my family booked a hike for Saturday, and then my husband got gifted a Loftus ticket. Are you serious? Are you serious? Nobody gifted me a ticket for Loftus. The Dutch won't take you either. No, they're too busy taking Indonesians. They don't want you either. Nope, the Dutch don't want you either. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you except Trump. Stay off my lawn. Peter Talliar, Jean Kotze, Andreas van der Koff, Rebecca, Chantal Fenter, Bugger Off Bunny, and Ronel Clote. Got everybody? I think I got everybody. Biden wanted me. The Dutch don't even want the Dutch. You're right about that, CB. You're right about that. They just want people from the unclean, unvarnished part of the world. Yep. Kurgan Island, sheep and Arctic cabbage farming. Well, I have an idea. Maybe you should all migrate to the Falkland Islands, Fill up the Falklands, turn it into a prosperous place and declare independence from the United Kingdom. Overwhelm the English settlers there. 300,000 Afrikaners landing in the Falklands would change everything. Goose Green, Stanley. Yeah, you guys go change. You can change the names from Stanley to Delaray. Go to the Falkland Islands. Today in the Falkland Islands, the Afrikaners arrived in mass by a boat. A boat came and now the population is larger than the English majority population, no longer majority. Stanley's been overwhelmed by Afrikaners. There are Koch sisters on every corner, biltong hanging from the windows. It's crazy, folks. We're reporting live from downtown Stanley, a town of just a couple thousand here in the Falkland Islands. Yes, the Malvinas, as the Argentinians call it, and there are no Argentines. There aren't many English anymore. It's out with the Earl Grey and in with morning cafe. That's right, the Afrikaners arrived in mass with sheep and goats and cattle and their strange ways. Yes, they run around in shorts all the time. Their children are barefoot, running on thorns. We can't quite figure it out. These are strange people, to say the least. But now they are the majority population in the Falkland Islands, and they control it. So there you go, folks. There you go. Hey, it's an idea. South Georgia Island's uninhabited, but you don't want to live there. That's basically an animal preserve. It's freezing, too. Freaking ice flows come up to South Georgia. Nobody goes there. No, Arctic, I've not been to the Falkland Islands. No, I'm just saying. You want to go colonize someplace, that's the place to do it, man. That's right. They got fucking goats there, too. Look, it's a fucking goat. No, baby, it's just a goat. No, it's a fucking goat. Good morning, Veroshka. Can you imagine the wind blowing? All bundled up. Afrikaners there. Hello. It's morning van dem hebben. Goeiedag, Zuid-Afrika. Minus 5 degrees here in the fucking islands. Yeah, no, we're meeting with the Van der Merwes and the Milans in Stanley. Yeah, we'll name it the Falkland Island. Exactly. The United Kingdom today waged war against South Africa. The invasion of the Falkland Islands will not be tolerated. Keir Starmer went on camera. We will not tolerate this invasion by these evil white people from racist South Africa into the Falkland Islands. Those are our Falkland Islands, not yours. To which the reporter from SABC says, he can have these Falkland Islands. It's fucking cold. Ooh. The latest plane load of Afrikaners arrived in the Falkland Islands today. Yes. They came today. And they headed up Cook Sisters, and all the puzzled residents of Stanley are like, what the hell are these kind of donuts? Initially, when the Afrikaners arrived in the Falkland Islands in 2025, there was interest and the friendly attitude of the Earl Grey drinking English residents of the Falkland Islands. But then, the Afrikaners began to subject the Falkland Islanders to constant burning of wood called braai. No one knows what braai means, but they were burning wood all the time on the islands with virtually no wood, pissing off the English residents. And then they forced people to eat this strange paste. It was vile and disgusting, said the English residents. We want these people out of the Falkland Islands now. We've had a fucking enough of these fucking Afrikaners with their pasty. They call it pap or something like that. What is pap? What is pap? Anyway, so, and it all went downhill from there. This week, reporting live from the Falkland Islands at Goose Green, a strange beverage showed up. It's called Castle Lager. It tastes like bottled urine. The English are unhappy with it, but, their beer also tastes like bottled urine, so they have no basis to complain. More tensions between the Afrikaners and the Falkland Islanders. Oh, Yorkshire pudding is pretty disgusting, too. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. What's Dougie saying? Oh my goodness. Fluid from surgical removal of lymph nodes in my left groin. Oh my goodness. That sounds horrible, Maze. Oof. Oof, that sounds horrible. Ugh. Anyway, yeah. So we go now live to the Falkland Islands where there's more sheep than there are Welsh. That's true. That's a true statement for sure. Anyway, yeah. Now, look, if you guys are going to colonize somewhere, that's the place to go, the Falkland Islands. It's remote. People speak English. Well, it's a version of English. And the Argentines want it. So if you colonize it, they won't want it anymore. Yeah, you walked into the Falkland Islands. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that was one of the first conflict I remember vividly. That was when I was just a kid, man. The Falkland Islands. What, 1982 was that invasion? Wow. No, my lawn is not in the Falkland Islands. All right. Okay, great, Mornay. I hope you get through this. Cool. Glad to hear that you got some help there. All right. Everyone that sent me messages, I sent them stuff. Some people were very confused. I sent the phone number like, I don't have it. Like, it's right there in the email, so I sent it again. Anyway, wow, yeah. Enough of the Falkland Islands. Now to be colonized by Afrikaners. Anyway. Man, oh man! I'll tell you that whole Trevor Noah thing that just really it just turned my stomach watching it. Willie LaRue will trot out for his 100th Test match and become the latest centurion for the Springboks, something he should have earned a few years ago. Yeah, instead of the bigotry and racism, not letting a quality player play simply because he's white. But now he's back. There's Willie LaRue. Gets his Centurion sunset. It shouldn't be a sunset. He's healthy. He should play for another 3 years. Willie LaRue is walking into sunset of his career, but his fullback position in the team is well taken care of. He'll be playing in the 99th Test match should he come off the bench, and then the 100th will be next week. Damien Willemse, who will be playing his first test since 2023 World Cup, is chuffed that he's back in the team. So am I. Good to see him back. Yep. When that retirement comes, LaRue's void will be filled quickly. By the meantime, he'll be getting his 99th Test cap if he comes off the bench. Well, he will. That'll leave coach Rossi Rasmus the option of the PE test against Italy, or the trip to Nelspruit for the Georgia test to Usher LaRue if he gets the Loftus match unscathed. Into an elite club of Springbok Centurions, it includes Eben Etzebeth with 131, Victor Matfield with 127, Brian Habana 120, Tende Mtawira 117, John Smith at 111, Jean de Villiers 109, and Percy Montgomery at 102. Of course, the first one to reach that would have been Percy at 102. Yep. Wow. 3 matches at home. So let's get him in all 3. Why dicking around? Just get him in all 3. Make a short video on that. Okay. People can't always help. Just great. Okay. Noah is an asswipe. Yeah, that's what I called him. Well, Greta, you don't have to watch it. You can listen to my play-by-play and color commentary. I'll be covering it on Rugby Ascendant. I do all the Springbok test matches. In fact, I'm foregoing driving to North Carolina to attend the U.S. Eagles game this weekend so that I can do a game here for you guys. Eagles are playing this weekend in Charlotte and next weekend in Charlotte. I considered taking a trip down there. Do a short video on the Falkland Islands. Yeah, could do that, but not everybody's entertained by my humor, so getting some nasty comments on my videos. So, can South Africa's HIV fight survive U.S. funding blows? No, apparently it can't. No, apparently it can't. Can you send the link? Well, I haven't set the game up yet. I can send you a link to this channel. We can do that. It's at Rugby Senate. There you go, at Rugby Ascendant. So just go there on YouTube. You'll find the channel. I haven't set up the stream. I've made the banner. I can show you I've made the banner just in case nobody believes me. Come here, come here. Hello. There's the folder. Now where's my rugby folder? Come on, down here somewhere. There it is. Interview, rugby broadcast banners. I got 2. I got, it's now Thursday, so on Friday I've got Scotland versus Maori Blacks. I'll be covering that game on the 4th of July, U.S. holiday. Covering that game. So here's the banner for that game. There you go. That's the banner for that game. And then the next game will be on Saturday. It will be the Springboks versus Italy. There you go. So I have to set those up. I made the banners a couple days ago, but yeah. Noli Moorcroft from South. Thank you. You're very welcome, Noli. Thank you for your subscription. We hope to keep growing. I have how many items in here? Let me see. Oh, that's why, because I put them by windows. I need to make a 2025 one. That's what I need to do. So, Rugby Broadcast Thumbnails 2025. That's what I need to do. Copy, and then I'll put all the old ones in there. New folder. New. Come on. Oh, come on. New folder. There we go. 2025, okay? And now I can put all the banners that were up until this recent ones, okay? This test matches, okay? Cut, paste. Okay, so I already did 2 international test games, Argentina, the British and Irish Lions, and then Springboks Barbarians, and I get 2 this weekend. So 2022, I had 113 broadcast rugby. 2023, I had 120 broadcasts of rugby. 2024, I've got 160 that I did last year. This year in 2025, I had 35 plus this will be 39. So, yep, there you go. Lots of rugby. That was funny its own way, especially. Yeah, I know, because of the Falkland thing. So, yep. Sasha Feinberg will be the next best fly half. Loads of talent there. Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, and I called it. So M.V. Velman, I talked about what his natural position is before he settled into the fly-half position. I said, the guy's got talent. He can be a fullback. He can be a wing. He can even play outside center if he had to. He can also, play fly-half, and ultimately that's where he settled in at fly-half. Overslept and missed so much. No, Lonnie, you can always go back. That's the thing. You can always go back and watch it. Later, people, I have a long day today. I need to bake cookies for my kid. Okay, Chantel, enjoy the cookie baking, if that's something you enjoy. The N2 where most heists happen is 1 or 2 kilometers away. Wow. That sucks. That sucks. Yep. I don't miss the Beast. He was okay. But no. I missed Dion Ferree in the lineup. And when Jean de Villiers' career ended, I was disappointed. I like Gio Aplon. Gio Aplon was a cool player. I really like Gio. He was a good player. I miss him. Yep. But I'm telling you, some of these players, I mean, they're just the best ever. I mean, like, Kurtley Arnsey and Cheslin Colby, just little dynamos, man. Both of them hit hard, but Cheslin hits like a freaking Mack truck when he hits you. Man, fantastic players. Sasha Feinberg Umzulu, another fantastic player. Yep. Yeah, just great players. 3 days and still no water in Rudaport. Well, that sucks. What Americans say when you tell them about rugby? Well, most of the Americans that talk to rugby about Mandarin are other rugby enthusiasts, so they're all in on it. But those who I talk to about the rugby, they don't know much about it, and they're interested, but they don't, it hasn't caught on. So hopefully the World Cups will have it catch on here, and professional rugby will survive. New England Free Jacks won the championship again. That's their second. They're the first team to get 2 titles in Major League Rugby, I believe. Yep. You never liked Villy LaRue? Oh, I've always liked Villy LaRue. Didn't like him in 2019 World Cup because he had butterfingers. But, Gio Apollon was fantastic. I loved him. And Jan Serfontein, who's coming back to South Africa, one of my favorite players all time. Did you hear that Juju says they start? Yeah, I know. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's a freaking idiot. Yeah, I'm tired of the NFL, too, because it's a racist league. They have an Office of Diversity. 65% of the players are black, and they have an Office of Diversity. 12% of the population is black. 12%. And they have an Office of Diversity. I'm so sick of this oppressive, hearing this nonsense. It's really obnoxious. It's obnoxious. It really gets old. Edward Jacobs, welcome to you. Yeah, Gio is fantastic. He's actually in my Rugby Ascended opening. He's a picture of Gio diving across the try line. There have just been some really amazing players in South African rugby. Yep. I was too young. I never got to see Nas play because we didn't have rugby televised back then, so I never saw Nas play. Yep. Never saw Percy play either. Yeah, so much for Percy. The NBA is 87% black last time I checked. I haven't checked in a couple of years. And most of the white players aren't even American. They're from Europe. So, but they talk about racial oppression. The starting salary for a rookie in the NBA is guaranteed at over $900,000 a year. 16 million rand a year guaranteed. And they talk about oppression. Wow. And they endlessly father unwed children, leaving them all over the place, do drugs, get in fights on court. Yeah. Well, it depends on where you say here is rakes. Where is here? The Bantu were in South Africa before the Dutch were. Absolutely. The Bantu arrived. They crossed the Zambezi River about 1,600 years ago, and the Limpopo around 1,400 years ago, roughly, based on the evidence we have. And then they came down and moved mostly down towards the coast into what became KZN and worked their way over centuries down the coast along the fish till they got to the Fish River. So yes, they were there before the Europeans arrived. The Europeans didn't arrive for permanent settlement until 1652. By then, black South Africans were firmly ensconced, but that doesn't make them original inhabitants. As we showed earlier today on the news broadcast, none of them were. The Khoi, the San, they can all Futsek because there were hominids there 90,000 years ago who left ochre tools in the Bosman cave or something like that. So we can play this stupid game all day. I mean, as far as Palestine, they can all fuck off because the Jews were there 5,000 years ago. So they can all screw off and just take off. As far as Egypt was Greek. So the Egyptians can screw off. But of course, it was Egyptian long before it was Greek. Tunisia, it was Phoenician, Lebanese. It was German. The Vandals came there. So the Arabs can screw off. The Berbers can stay. They were there. Yep. The Portuguese passed through there, Karen, but they never set up a permanent settlement. They landed in the Cape of Good Hope and got engaged in a fight with the Strandlopers, as they called the San, and they got their hat handed to them, and they never tried to settle after that because they were defeated in a battle. I don't know what Jiu-Jitsu Springbok is. And the 95 World Cup is memorable, yeah. But those days are gone. The likes of Dan Corder and Trevor Noah are part of the reason why South Africa will never experience that again. This outright hatred of white people and bigotry and open racism is just vile. And they're just stereotyping of 4.8 million people and blaming people who were born after apartheid for what came before. Should we blame Trevor Noah for Switzerland's refusal to take in Jews during the Second World War? Is that his fault? That's a stupid concept. Of what rugby? Yeah, I do get a copyright strike, Mr. T. In fact, I did get one. I got one. Yep. And that reminds me, I got to reboot my computer to try to sort out why the audio is not working in my other profile. All I ever can do is like play the referee. If I play the game with the announcers, I get copyright strikes. Yep. Can't do that, man. Doesn't work, Mr. Besides, if I play that, why would you watch my channel? Why would you watch my channel? People watch my channel to hear my enthusiastic commentary and insightful commentary. Yep. Never read Albert Schweitzer. That's interesting. Never read. Never read. Well, I was part of the first A team when Nas still played. Okay, Peter, thank you for sharing that. Good morning, everybody. So sorry a little late. It's okay. Sport motivation. We all see NFL players through our kids cry fees must fall in American NFL, and basketball players always talk about sleeping in a room with 5 cousins and 2 jobs trying to make the cut. That's nonsense. FYI, cannibalism was rampant in West Africa a mere 100 years ago. Well, cannibalism is rampant in South Africa now. The number of albino children that are kidnapped and butchered for muti is vile and disgusting. And their body parts are sent to Santon, where they're consumed by these sick people. Remember, South Africa is the birthplace of, raping infants to get rid of HIV. Remember that? This is the intellectual depth of Africa, South Africa. Raping infants to cure you of HIV. That was a thing. Remember that? Yeah, Jonah Loma was amazing. Do you remember that? That was a thing in South Africa 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Raping infants to get rid of HIV. That's a real thing. I'm not making it up. It's not anti-South Africa. People have forgotten about this. Yeah, it wasn't really talked about as much in Zimbabwe, but I'm sure it was. There's a couple things that people don't like to talk about. They don't like to talk about it, but it's there. And let's just bring it up right now. Incest. Parents molesting their own kids. Rampant in Africa, Southern Africa in particular. Very rampant. No one likes to talk about it. Very rampant. Yep. It's true. Talk to people who deal with survivors. Yep. Not even tribal. True tribal leaders in the South don't believe in this stuff. Yep. Youth Fundamental is my favorite. Yeah, Youth was pretty cool. No, it is. It's sick. Sick. Yep, Mandarin, it's true. And people want to deny it. So it's like, we're told that we have to respect other cultures. I don't respect a culture that slices clitoris and labia off of a prepubescent girl and then stitches her clitoris or stitches her vagina up so that it grows together and she suffers painful intercourse to dissuade her from having intercourse, to be chaste. I don't respect a culture that does that. I will never respect a culture that does that. It's barbaric. It's inhumane. It's vile. And it's human rights abuse. I won't respect that ever. And you can get the fuck out of my country if you do that here. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. Dylan says, I've never experienced that. Never experienced what? Yeah, no, it's, yeah, I'll never respect that. Never respect that. And you can't force me to. And in my lifetime, you won't rule this world. People with those bizarre cultural practices. You want to practice that, you're going to have to go elsewhere. Yep. I don't agree with any body mutation either. See any tattoos here? See any piercings? Nope. Personal choice. No, but people do it. They get away with it. They're in the Arab world. It's common to rape little boys. Yep. Well, in South Africa, the corrective rape of lesbians. Well, I talked about it, but we haven't heard much about it anymore. Young black girls kidnapped, forced into marriage. Yep. You're right, Karen. It's true. Peter's off to work. Me too. No tats, no holes. The African Transformation Movement and other political parties plan to approach Parliament and Constitutional Review Committee to change South Africa's name to Republic of Zambia. It's a bullshit name. No, that's not Islam. That's culture. That's culture. Let's make a clear distinction on me. Female genital mutilation is not Islamic. It's cultural. It's prevalent in barbaric cultures. Yemen, Somalia, Eritrea, Chad, Nigeria. It's on Business Tech. Thank you for that. Dearborn, Michigan. Hey, Matt Canale, what's going on, man? What about the Mali Empire? No, it's practiced by Christians too in a few places. So it's not just Islamic. It's a cultural thing, guys. It predates Islam. Yeah, it's look, but I mean, you know, they were hungry. They were starving. Yeah, I know that they committed cannibalism, and that story disappeared very quickly. Yep, very quickly. No one's talking about that anymore. Yep, absolutely went very quickly. Yep. Well, we don't want to talk about barbaric practice anymore. Let's talk about our mighty Springboks. Let's do that, okay? 'Cause I don't want to talk about this stuff. It's just depressing. Let's see. Where is it at? Come on. Come on. There it is. Springbok glory, folks.
Under the southern sun, the green and gold shine bright. On the field of honor, they battle with all their might. From the scrums to the tries, they always find their way. Springboks rising higher day after day. Springboks just win, win, win. They can't be denied. With the Webb Ellis Cup, they're filled with pride. The greatest rugby nation, standing tall and true. Better than the rest in every test they pursue. From the dusty fields to the world stage they've roared. Legends carved in history, their spirit soared. In the hearts of a nation, they ignite the flame. Every tackle, every try, echoing their name.
Springboks just win, win, win.
They can't be
Denied.
With the Webb Ellis Cup, they're filled with pride. The greatest rugby nation, standing tall and true. Better than the rest in every test they pursue. Through the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the pain, they carry the hopes of a country like a chain. From the whistles blow to the final play, they prove their greatness every single day.
Springboks just win, win, win.
They can't
Be denied.
With the Webb Ellis Cup, they're filled with pride. The greatest rugby nation, standing tall and true. Better than the rest in every test they pursue.
There you go, folks. Springbok glory. You like that one? Yeah. Vanner Smuts, good morning to you. Motor and blood. I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I'm doing well. Rakes, yeah. So we're just trying to get out of that pit we started to fall into there. Let me go back to my software for music writing. All right. Well, my credits went back up. What's going on there? I guess it's because it's a new month. All right. So what are we going to write tonight, guys? What song? Give me some topics. We'll write a song. Come on. Come on. Give me some topics. What are we going to do? 4th of July is one of them. I thought about that, but everybody's doing 4th of July songs. Yeah, Jesse is a test captain. I'm very happy about this too. I'm a huge Jesse Creel fan. I argued vehemently that he should be part of the team in 2023, and we needed him. We needed Jesse so bad in that World Cup. The guy's just buff. He's just, I'm envious. He's just all like bone and muscle and a stud and so talented. Song of the Wyatt Army. Okay, we can think about that. Yeah, no, it's from when, yeah, okay. Chris the Zombie is coming to town. We did that song. We did that last night. No, a whale. Okay, come on, better topics, guys. What else? I need a better topic than that. Okay, the Wyatt Army is, yeah, we will do that some other time. Oh, a Brybruki. Yeah, well, no, I'm not going to steal thunder from Ziane. Yeah, not going to steal. That's a good idea, though, the Brybruki song. Oh, Trevor Noah's been back in the USA for about, in South Africa, going on a year now, or at least 6 months. Yeah, he left a long time. Just a quick, unrelated question. If we watch only the first 30 seconds of an ad, does it help your channel, or should we watch the whole advert? Maddie, it depends on the type of ad, but if you don't mind watching the whole advert, it helps. But yeah, but even if people don't, it's right now, advertising is the biggest source of revenue for my channel. Yeah, let me take a look and see. So I need to go here. Let me just do a math percentage-wise where the money's coming from right now. I would say that over 50% of the revenue is coming from ads. So, yep, ads. So, if you can watch it all, great. If you can't, you can't. It's fine. I get it. If we get 250,000 viewers on this channel, then we'll be in great shape here. Inbreeding. Where is it raining at, Sandra? Yes. All right, see, the only got was the Wyatt Army and the Brybruki. Those are the options. Zombie coming to town. Okay. We've done the Bugger Off Bunny. Yeah, nobody has good ideas tonight. Yeah, I had some good ideas. I did them earlier. So now let's see what we've done here. Did Meerkat alert? Meerkat's on alert. And Colonel Chris lives on. Springbok's glory. 90 days too late. 90 days gone. That did come out so well. Bugger Off Bunny. The right move. Proud and strong. Golden hair defender. That came out well. So, yep. Yep. What's this? Don't much confidence. Right. Your MK song. You like the MK song, Xavier? I thought so too. I lost some viewers on that. Refugees in 4th of July. I don't know. Yeah, I appreciate you guys can't stand Temu. A lot of people don't like Temu. I've never shopped at Temu or Shein. Bill Tongue and Drovers. 4th of July can be quite amazing. Fireworks in a lot of places. How about X-Rates gangster rap on Trevor Noah? School holiday, nah. None of those are great. Bill Tongue and Drovers, that might be one way to do it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I like the MK song, but some people didn't like it. Obviously not getting many views, 1,500 views, so. Yep. A song about your zip line. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But we got Save South Africa for that one. That's pretty cool. Let's watch that real quick. That's cool. I love that. So, Caledon. There you go. Save South Africa, soaring on the zip line. This is cool. For those of you who haven't seen this is cool. I use my Save South Africa on this one. Here we go. Ready?
And sky so blue, Mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave their weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know. Riddle.
That is Caledon. That's the longest zip line on the planet. That is 3.2 kilometers, and you go up to 150 kilometers per hour. I was clocked at 146, 148 kilometers per hour. I was a little disappointed because my height, my aerodynamic shape, and my weight made it faster trip for me. They said it takes about 3.5 minutes. Took me 2 minutes and 18 seconds to get to the bottom. That was lekker. So we hear about the Wyatt Army. That was the first instantiation of the Wyatt Air Force. Actually, you don't fly like Superman. You hold your hands over your chest because you've got the parachute. So you have to hold the parachute up here, and then you just let it go. And you saw that when I jerked up there. Yeah, the longest. It takes 45 minutes to get to the top of the damn mountain, though. That sucks. 45 minutes over a goat trail, but it is epic. That cable is like this freaking thick. It's huge, and you can hear that as you come down, man. That's the scariest part. I mean, it's not scary at all, but that cable is like, man, that's loud. Need a new wing commander. The current one drinks too much. Yeah, wing commander Arctic. Colonel watched the video about the guards at the tomb. I know they undergo. Yes, they're vetting. Yeah, well, they're vetted. They're tested. They compete for it. It's very hard. It's a great honor. It's a great honor. It's a great honor. Their backgrounds are checked extensively. The last thing we need is somebody who's an alcoholic who's with the guarding the tomb of the unknown soldier. That would be a big embarrassment. Last thing we need is somebody is guarding the tomb of the unknown soldier who sleeps around. Last thing we need is somebody that's doing drugs. So that's why they're vetted for all that stuff. Yep. Oh, rakes, it does. There was a feeling for being alive. And I promoted. I mean, by the way, that was free. I didn't pay for that. The owner of the Mystic Waves Hotel in Hermanus, where I've stayed at a couple times now, or 3 times I think I've stayed there, they the guy's son owns the zipline thing in Caledon. He said, "You want to go out there and do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's not right by my ear. I mean, you're hanging down below it, but yeah. Zipline is the longest zipline in South Africa. Not according to Caledon, Maze. Yeah, but that's not one shot. It's a total like 4.5 kilometers, which is a break. Is there not? You stop and switch over. I'm not going to argue. I mean, if you're right, you're right. But I mean, that's not what they say. They said it's the longest zip line in the world. The Saudis have come several times to try to spy and figure out how they pulled this off. Yeah, I went a lot faster than the South African Air Force. That's for damn sure. Yeah, well, this is one zip line. One zip line. 3.2 kilometers, the longest one in the world. How high was that? Let's see. Matt, I think the designation for the height was frickin' high. No, I don't know. It was pretty high, though, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Caledon. So I've done the zip line now in the Mahalisburg, which is a bunch of short ones, and it's pretty cool. Mahalisburg, I've done it at Ceres, which is nice. And then I've done it now at Caledon. I hear the one in is it George or Mossel Bay? When you go over the ocean. You zip line over the ocean. That was pretty cool. So I'll have to do that. Cape Town one does hold the record. What Cape Town one? I'm not bungee jumping. No. Alan says bye-bye Agoa. Agoa is gone, man. There's no bye-bye. 30 September, it's done. I did, Loretta, but the 45-minute drive sucked. The drive getting there was interesting. The drive coming back was interesting, but yeah. And what breaks my heart is all of the stuff you saw, that entrepreneurialism is going to disappear with all these people leaving South Africa. It sucks. It sucks. South Africa's not going to be the same, and that's going to suck. Milk and Ice says, yes, you are. I'm making you do it. Making me do what? Oh, the bungee jump? Pfft, no, not going to happen. Shannon says 620,000 to 45,000, huh? Job losses, 80 to 180,000 exits. Yeah, lots of people are going to go into poverty. Vic Falls. Yeah, I know there's bungee jumping in Vic Falls. I had the opportunity to do it. I didn't. Paragliding. No, not interested. After the jump, can't remember the drive back to Cape Town. Yeah, I like rappelling, but I like ziplining even better because there's no effort. You just like 20 to 40,000. Gotcha. Okay, Shannon. Okay. Scared of heights, like terrified, and I have done it twice. It's too high to be high. That makes sense. Gotcha. Come fly with me, then bring a bottle of Jack and a parachute. Let's see who jumps first. Oh my goodness. Bungee, Van Stadens, check Storms River. Okay, got it. Blaukrans. Paragliding in Mauritius. Okay, I did the one in Rabaul. Long story. Blonde moment and almost lost my finger. Oh my goodness. Still finished the whole circuit finger off the hospital. My goodness, Sumari. I don't even want to know what you did there. Saw the illegal shacks. Yeah, I have, Florida. I've seen them. I've seen them in Hermanus. I've also seen the ones going through Sir Lowry's Pass. When you come up across, you get up to the top, and that disgusting mess on the left-hand side there. Ugh. And then the ones over at Boat Revere. Well, at Blaukrans, you zip line to the bungee, so you win twice. Yep, bungee, damn, autocorrect. I notice a lot of people aren't showing up anymore in my streams. Still got great streams. It's because more people are coming in. But a lot of people who joined us for the FT stuff have just stopped watching now. Yep, I can mention a few by name. I won't because I'm not going to embarrass people. Oh, we'll watch you. Look, no one's obliged to, but don't tell me you're going to watch. Get me all excited. Pull a Trump on me. Yeah, well, I could do a dim the lights, pull the Trump on me. Let me do that. We'll do that. We'll do a Trump one. We'll see if it can compete with that other one. That other one is really good. Let me do a pull the Trump on me. Okay, that's we're gonna do that one. Okay, let's go. What kind of music do we want? Want pop, or do you want? Well, that's best for hip hop, I think. I think that's best with hip hop, or just hip hop. Let's see. Let's see how this does. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Sing Master, not always up early because I'm being a night owl. Nina Ricci. Remember, by the 18th century, did not have a written language. Yep. All right, dim the lights. Let's see how it comes out. Okay. Got two hip hop, rhythmic hip hop. Let's say bold.
Dim the lights, Natalie, it's time to vibe. Pulling moves, so slick, I'm coming alive.
This is not the mood I wanted for
South
it.
Africa's groove, let the rhythm flow. Where the city lights shine and the trumpets blow. Oh, Mr. President, do you know the way? Where the streets are loud and the people play. Ramaphosa's trip, oh, the mission fell flat, but the spirit's still strong. Now imagine that.
Not too bad.
Imagine that. Dim the lights and let's paint the night. The world's watching close through a global sight. From the hills of Pretoria to the Cape Shore. Feel the beat of the nation, they can't ignore. Oh, Mr. President, do you know the way? Where the streets are loud and the people play. Ramaphosa's trip, oh, the mission fell flat, but the spirit's still strong. Now imagine that. It's a journey of hope and a story untold, where dreams are made and the hearts are bold. America may listen, but the mission's unclear. Still the rhythm of the land keeps the vibe sincere. Oh, Mr. President, do you know the way? Where the streets are loud and the people play. Ramaphosa's trip, oh, the mission fell flat, but the spirit's still strong. Now imagine that.
Yeah, actually, it's growing on me. It's growing on me. Now let's listen to version 2. Hopefully it's a little better. Here we go, version 2.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Dim the lights, Natalie, it's time to vibe it. Pulling moves so slick, I'm coming live. South Africa's groove, let the rhythm flow. Where the city lights shine and the trumpets blow. Oh, Mr. President, do you know the way? Where the streets are loud and the people play. Ramaphosa's trip, oh, the mission fell flat, but the spirit's still strong. Now imagine that. Dim the lights and let's paint the night. The world's watching close through a global sight. From the hills of Pretoria to the Cape Shore, feel the beat of the nation they can't ignore. Oi. Oh, Mr. President, do you know the way? Where the streets are loud and the people play.
I like the chorus.
Ramaphosa's trip, oh, the mission fell flat, but the spirit's still strong. Now imagine that. It's a journey of hope and a story untold, where dreams are made and the hearts are bold. America may listen, but the mission's unclear. Still the rhythm of the land keeps the vibe sincere. Oh, Mr. President, do you know the way? Where the streets are loud and the people play.
That one I like. That second version I like. The first one was okay, but that just was a little too tinny. But that was on the money, man. That one I liked. All right, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good. So which one of these is this? The one we want to hear now?
Colonel Chris ain't dead, y'all got it twisted. Rumors spread fast, but the truth, y'all missed it. Platinum hair shining, yeah, he's still here. Dropping facts on air, make the trolls disappear. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch your truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch your truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life. Crash 9, he cruising top down, no dent. Internet wild, but the truth's well spent. Smoking out the phonies, fire in his veins. Running through the static, breaking all chains. They tried to bury him, but forgot it, he's a seed. Roots run deep and he grows at speed. Microphone assassin, taking down schemes. Colonel Chris living in your nightmares and dreams. Perish, nah, he rebirthed on the mic. Spitting so raw, turn your dark to light. Platinum like his hair, shining in the storm. Fake news crumble, real truth reborn. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch the truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch the truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life.
I've got an idea for another song, guys. I'll see if this works. This one just came to me, okay? Okay, let's see if this works. This is a wild idea. Let's see what comes out of this. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, okay? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Let me give it a shot here. Parliament TV on budget voting for human settlement. Okay, they've done very bad stuff coming down Africa. No African country will support them. This one will be good. Let's see. I hope it is. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Ready? I told it new wave. There's the text.
Little meerkats in their suits so tight, rockets blazing through the cosmic night, eyes on the prize in the Martian dust, tiny paws holding interstellar trust, leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the meerkats' mission to claim Mars, building homes under crimson skies, a brand new world through their clever eyes.
Meerkats in space.
They scurry quick past the asteroid rain. Through solar winds they feel no pain. Digging tunnels in the Martian ground. Echoes of chirps the only sound. Leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the meerkats' mission to claim Mars. Building homes under crimson skies. A brand new world through their clever eyes. Galactic guardians with tails held high, protecting Mars from the unknown night. From dunes to craters they boldly roam, calling this red desert their new home.
Yeah, OMD. It does sound like OMD.
Leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the meerkats' mission to claim Mars, building homes under crimson.
Yeah, Depeche Mode too, yeah.
A brand new world through their clever eyes.
Okay, here comes the next version. Usually the second version is better. Let's see how this one is. The volume of the singing was a little low in that last one. I like this. Let's see how it can do this.
Little meerkats in their suits so tight.
Yeah.
Rockets blazing through the cosmic night. Eyes on the prize in the Martian dust. Tiny paws holding interstellar lust. Leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the meerkats' mission to claim Mars. Building homes under crimson skies. A brand new world through their clever eyes. They scurry quick past the asteroid rain. Through solar winds they feel no pain. Digging tunnels in the Martian ground. Echoes of chirps the only sound. Leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the meerkats' mission to claim Mars. Building homes
Yeah, Human League.
under crimson skies. A brand new world through their clever eyes. Galactic guardians with tails held high, protecting Mars from the unknown night. From dunes to craters they boldly roam, calling this red desert their new home. Leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the meerkats' mission to claim Mars. Building homes under crimson skies. A brand new world through their clever eyes.
Okay, I'll be up front with that. I was inspired by woodpeckers in space. Oh, here we go again. What's with all the chat here? Suddenly my chat's like catching up.
Dim the lights, Natalie, it's time to vibe. Pulling moves, so slick, I'm coming alive. South Africa's groove, let the rhythm flow. Where the city lights shine and the trumpets blow. Oh, Mr. President.
What's the deal here, Buster B? Are we allowed to ask questions never been asked here, or should we not ask the question? What are you talking about, Buster B? I haven't said a word to you. What are you talking about? I haven't said a word to you. What are you talking about? Alet Cloty loves the songs. Thanks. Never Ending Story, yeah. Yeah, he's trying to offend people with his comments, and people are ignoring him. Well, your comments are intentionally provocative. Why are you doing that? Enough trouble with people making false claims about me. I don't need people, in the chat doing things. Did the moderators warn you about something? You're not timed out. You're here. You're I'm Alive is the best ever. You like that one? Yeah, the I'm Alive is pretty good one. No, I think Save South Africa is the best one ever. And I like the one from that I did which not many people watched. I did it in honor of the first meet and greet. It was pretty cool. I really like that one. Let me see what that one. That one's the meet and greet vibes. That one's really cool. I really like the meet and greet vibes. Well, I got a lot of songs in here now. Where's the meet and greet vibes? Is it here? There it is. This is the one I really like. This one. So upbeat and happy. I don't have Afrikaner Heart. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Afrikaner Heart? You've asked it before. I mean, I don't have a song called Afrikaner Heart. That's a Bok van Blerk song.
Colonel Wyatt's got a plan so sweet. A meet and greet down Strand's wide street. South African sun kissed the air so bright. We shared our stories through the night. Dozens gathered hearts in sync. With every smile the spirits linked. A room of faces worlds apart, bound by camaraderie, heart to heart. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendship's tide, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams. The evening hung with fire and glee. Connections blooming wild and free. Words were sparks igniting light underneath the southern sky tonight. Oh, the beauty, unforgettable glow of strangers and friends we didn't know, tying threads that'll last and weave moments shared with hearts on sleeve. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendship's tide, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams.
Yeah, I really like that one. That one and Save South Africa were back-to-back songs. I don't have a song called Afrikaner Heart. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's a Bok van Blerk song. You've asked for that twice now. And I don't have that song. Don't have on Suno. I don't know if I shared that one. Let me see. Meet and Greet Vibes. I've published that one. It's on Suno. So is Say South Africa. Some of your moderators had an issue with some of my comments. Well, okay, Buster, what are you doing that's trying to provoke people? Look, I have people come in my chat that troll and try to say racist things or anti-Semitic things just so people can get screen captures and then falsely claim that this channel fosters hate, which it doesn't. If someone here has a problem with people because of their skin color, then they can fuck off. They shouldn't be here. That's not directed at anybody. I'm just telling anybody that. You know, I didn't serve in uniform to defend white people or brown people or black people. I served in uniform to protect the Constitution and defend everyone, even assholes. So, I didn't see, I wasn't paying attention to your comments either, Buster. So, I mean, I don't know what happened. The one with the 4-tracking music video, female vocalist. 4-tracker. Okay. Are you talking about, wait, let me see if you're talking about this one. Let me go here to my software. I think you're talking about the one that I call, Afrikaner Proud and Strong. That's the one. I think that's the one you want. Hang on a second. Afrikaner Proud and Strong. That's, yeah, here it is. Proud and Strong. Well, that's, wait a second. I think this is the one you're talking about. It's not Afrikaner Heart.
Through the dust of the veldt, where the wind does moan, we've carved out a life in the soil and stone.
I'll publish that one.
They call us names, but we stand up tall. For faith and family, we've weathered it all. Raise the flag high, let the colors fly. With our hands we've built under God's own sky. No insult can break what's forged in our soul. Afrikaner hearts steadfast and whole. They say we're dogs, they say we're small, but we've built empires and answered the call. With the earth in our palms and the sun on our backs, we march to the rhythm of unbroken tracks. Through the storms and strife we hold the line. The roots run deep like the old oak spine. Pride in our spirit, love in our veins. The faith of our fathers forever remains. Raise the flag high, let the colors fly. With our hands we've built under God's own sky. No insult can break what's forged in our soul. Afrikaner hearts steadfast.
That's why you think it's called Afrikaner Hearts. Okay.
Through the years and miles, we've walked this road, bearing the burdens, carrying the load. But the light of our fire, it will never fade. For the strength of our people will never be swayed.
Okay, that song is published now. And is it Enley? Who wanted that? I just published that song, okay? So you can, I gave it a new cover. The question you were asking was about Bantu pre-colonial history. I asked them what they were doing 500 years before Europeans discovered them. Well, Europeans found folks in the Cape of Good Hope in the 1600s. 500 years before that was year 1100. And in Europe, we were murdering each other and dying from the Black Plague and bubonic plague. And living in streets where people shit in their own street right in front of their house and threw their rubbish in the street, spreading pestilence around. That's what we were doing in Europe. So, I mean, I don't, what's the point? What's the point? I don't get it. Cultures have different levels of development, different times. 500 years before Europeans ran into people in Southern Africa, they didn't have the wheel. They didn't have a written language. So, you know, we were far more enlightened and developed under the Greeks and Romans than in 1100 and 1200 and 1300 and 1400. It wasn't until the 1600s that we began to get to the Enlightenment and recover what we had lost and advance from there. Yeah. So kind of like Paris Today. Exactly, Arctic. Exactly, like Paris Today. Yes, the songs are AI. I give them a theme, a genre, and I give them keywords for lyrics to create. Yep. Yes, May says you're being disingenuous with the question. Exactly right. You're acting like it's an innocent question. It was a question intended to provoke an argument that will lead to racist conversation. That's why they had a problem with it. And you're pretending you don't know that. So, you're acting like Trevor Noah and, Dan Corder. Thank you, Loretta. I'm glad you like the songs. It's okay, Buster B. You're curious. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. If you want to be a troll, World of Warcraft has a race that trolls can play. Yes. Yeah, Arctic, you're right. So, Europe in the 1100s is just like Paris today. People throwing their shit out in the street. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a concept of, of infection, of transference. We didn't get the concept of viruses and bacteria. Didn't get it. They in the 1100s, they bled people. They drained their blood. They put leeches on them in Europe. That's how they treated people. Leeches and draining blood don't make people healthy. They're counterproductive. The Egyptians had far more advanced medicine under the Egyptians and under the Macedonians who settled it, the Greeks. The Persians had more advanced medicine and military than we had, and we had a peak. We declined. The Romans and Greeks were amazing. And then we went to shit for centuries. And then finally we dug ourselves out of that hole. And then we burst back on the world scene at a time when technology, we harnessed it with ships and navigation. Leading the way were the Vikings, my people, leading the way. Centuries before the rest of Europe caught up. They used to have a stone that helped them guide. They didn't have a compass, but they had a stone that helped them determine the direction. And they used it, and it was successful. Got them all the way to Vinland, to Newfoundland. Yep, so, yep. Okay, well, yeah, people use leeches. Ugh. People use leeches. Disgusting. I mean, look, everyone's history's got dark periods in it and periods of failure. People seem to think that because we did this, people like Americans like to think that, well, America's so advanced. Do you know that we didn't have a national highway system? We didn't start a national highway system until 1955 under President Eisenhower. We had cars on the road since 1900. It took over half a century for us to come up with the concept of having a national highway system. And then we started building in 1955. And the last mile of the original map that was laid out of all the highways that were supposed to be built for the interstate highway system. Now, bear in mind that many more loops and beltways and highways were added into Regnum between 1955 and the period I'm going to say. But the last original mile wasn't finished from 1955, the original plan, until 1992 or 94. Yet we're so advanced. We had malaria in America, endemic in the Virginia Tidewater, in the Chesapeake Bay, in Washington, D.C., where the Jefferson Memorial is, where the World War II memorial is. That was a swamp. We had malaria there. People died from malaria until the 1930s when we eradicated it. So we've only been malaria-free for a short period of time here in America. Yeah, it's crazy. It's, we have to remember that as humans, we've advanced so far, so fast, and we just have to keep that in mind, okay? I've been on parts of Route 66. I haven't driven the whole thing. It's boring. It's boring. I published a link to the song. You have to be a member of Suno. You have to join it, and people don't want to join it, so I quit publishing it. I don't know how to get you the link. Okay. Guys, you got to pay attention. We put this stuff up over and over in shows. Okay. How do I share this? Profile. How do I get to there? You guys tell me if this link works or if it's blocked because it's mine. That should let you get there. I don't know what you guys will see when you find that. Let me see. I'm logged in. I'm not going to log out of my account just to test it. Okay, there we go. I see 5 songs published, but I know I've got more than 5 songs published. So let's go back to my plot. Okay, so maybe it is only 5. Oh, you're right. The Bugger Off Bunny hasn't been published either. Yeah. Okay, it's only 5 songs there for now. Well, I'm not publishing them all because then nobody will buy them. It's all about the money. It's not. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. That's a start. Why is this not where it's supposed to be? There we go. Okay. So there you go. So that's I can see my profile. Actually, I'm going to change my image here. Add an image. Upload an image. Okay. Well, there we go. I was going to say, where's the damn picture at? Let me see. I can't find pictures of myself that I'm looking for. It's very annoying. Anyway, I don't know why it does this. 1806, slaves were freed. 1910, we fought together no matter what. 1948, some people just like being a boss instead of leaders. 94, nation just made it worse. We can't move forward. The past changes. Agreed. Nice thing about not having documented history is that you can make your history. Exactly. You can say you invented rugby. You just make it up. Well, we invented rugby. We invented rugby. No, you didn't. Stop lying to the world. You didn't invent rugby. William Webb Ellis invented rugby. We know the story all too well. William Webb Ellis. He's the guy that invented rugby, not you. All right, now you got a picture of me on the profile too. South Africa also had malaria in Kruger Park. Yep. Well, and then malaria came back. That's the story there that people don't know about. So the ANC, falling in line with their leftist ideas about green and the environment, the reason the National Party was able to pretty much control malaria, especially in KZN, is they used DDT, but they used it judiciously. Spray a little bit in the corner of residence, a little bit here, not spraying it indiscriminately like we did in America in the 1930s. People, swimming pools, walked right through baths, showers of DDT. No wonder they had cancer. So, but Rachel Carlson's silent spraying ruined the use of DDT, which is actually a good chemical to use judiciously. So the National Party used it judiciously, but then the ANC came and said, no, you can't do that. You're poisoning black people. So they stopped using DDT. And in less than 7 months, they went from a couple dozen cases of malaria in KZN to 75,000 cases of malaria in South Africa. 75,000, just like that. And then they're like, crap. So they went back and started using DDT, and the number dropped back down to almost nothing. The World Health Organization took notice of that and said, you know what? We're a bunch of dumbasses. Why are we not using DDT? Use it appropriately. And they changed their position on DDT. Most people don't know this story. Yep. DDT did work. Yep. DDT worked. But you shouldn't spray it all over. No, you're right. You're right, Buster B. The nice thing about not having a written history is you can make anything up. But even with a written history, people make stuff up. So that was also had malaria in Kruger Park. Yeah, that's always been the case. Yep. Martin says, just asking, was Manhattan Island a swamp too? Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. The southern part of Manhattan was a swamp. Absolutely correct. In fact, where all those buildings are at the end and those docks and everything, that was pretty much underwater. Yep, it was a swamp. Yep, that's all recovered. And in fact, a lot of the land on the west side of Manhattan Island, that's all recovered. They recovered it from the river. Yep. Bugger off, bunny. What's the history of the 4th of July? Well, we declared our independence on the 4th of July, 1776, and we celebrate every year. People have parades and fireworks at night. It's pretty cool. Barbecues. Okay, a savage daughter founded. Okay. Listening to this song, Chris, you have to speak louder so I can hear you too. I'm sorry, Blow Cup. Yeah, you use DDT sparingly. Looks like I'm the villain today. Only if you want to be. How does that saying anything history was written by the conquerors? Yeah. My ancestors gave me the land, sold it, now landless. My place in Mozambique got sprayed, although in 20 years, only once that I'm aware of. Remember years back, Juju claimed they invented rugby. Yes, he did. That wasn't many years ago. It was like a year or two ago. Yep. DC, well, I said DC was a swamp. I already said that. Jefferson Memorial all the way up, the World War II Memorial, all that was swamp. In fact, if you go back to the 1930s, that was cattle were grazing there. Now it's got the Washington, well, the Washington Monument was there, but it's got the World War II Memorial, it's got the reflecting pool, it's got the Jefferson Memorial, all that stuff's been built. Nick Nolte looks like me now. Nick Nolte looks rough, man. Unless you're talking about when he's younger. Hey, Diane Hopel, how's it going? El Dio Fundenberg, excuse me. Use Digicam to find photos. What is Digicam? Is that like a internet scouring thing? Digicam Photo Manager. Okay. Open source. Oh, okay. There used to be some really good photo programs, but they've all been wiped out. Google bought out the one program that was the best one ever. I can't remember the name of it. And thank you. Windows 64-bit. That's the one I want. Yeah. What the hell is this? You're connecting autonomous system. Just download the damn thing. There it is, finally. Yeah, there was a fantastic, I can't remember the name of it. It was fantastic, the best ever photo program for managing photographs on the you downloaded the internet years ago, and then Google bought it and turned it into Google Photos, and Google Photos sucks. It sucks. It's not even a client for your desktop. Okay, what's going on there? Why is that? There we go. It says I can't run the app. What the hell? Let's try it again. Run anyway. Okay. Start watching when I get up in the morning. Continue when I get to work. Okay. I don't see it doing anything. Where'd it go? It's not running. Probably spyware or freaking spam, for all I know. Well, that was bad advice. That was bad advice. Yes, DDT is poison, Brian Lawson, but what's going on here now? Oh, it's locked up my browser. That's special. Oh, there it is. Finally, it showed up. Jeez, it took forever to open that up. 8.7. Yes. I've read your terms. 1989, 1981. That's your copyright on this. This must be ancient ass software. All right. Yeah. So now we're good. We're good now. We're back. Okay. Okay. I love sisters. You're welcome, Joy von Vike. My pleasure. Sedgefield, what's going on? Yeah, Brian Lawrence, and no one claimed that DDT wasn't dangerous. I said that, but used judiciously, it's the most effective way to stop malaria. Absolutely. Also, people not living like pigs is a very effective way too. In Monrovia, they'll always have malaria because people live like pigs. They just throw their trash everywhere. They're pigs. They're absolute pigs. My wife and I had malaria twice. Almost lost my mom due to malaria. Doctors in South Africa don't really know how to treat it. When I use the stuff from China, our medicine, that stuff knocks it out. Picasa. Thank you, Relinda. That's the one, Picasa. Picasa was the best software ever, and then Google ruined it. Thank you, Relinda. That was the best one ever. And Picasa, I love Picasa. It was great. I used to manage all my photos with that. It was so great. And it read all the formats. None of this bullshit like, Windows can't recognize the format. .flv doesn't work. Well, it worked with Picasa. Nick Nolte was sexy in the day, but now he's like 76. He doesn't look so sexy now. Yeah, just saying. Anyway, is this thing installed yet? Where's it at? Okay. Start Digicam. Let me finish. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. Thank you for that tip. Let's see. Not familiar with it. I haven't tried to put any software to manage photos in a long time. I want bacon. I love Jacques Cousteau. Welcome to Digicam. Next. Is that location where you keep your images? I keep them everywhere, man. Good Lord. Says the location database will be stored on your system. There are 4 databases, one for collections, one to compress thumbnails. Okay, fine. I'll put it there. Open directly, adjustments made automatically. Okay, there you go. Let's try that. Okay, well, it's set up. Loading plugins. On my farm, we have plants that repel mosquitoes and other plants that encourage dragonflies. Well, okay. How effective is that? Download required modules. AI. Okay. Too many crickets. Now I got to download a bunch more software. Jeez. 4 out of 11. 5. Okay, well, that's playing around. We'll come back here. Microsoft is a virus. Go Mac. Mac is garbage. Mac is absolute shit software. It's garbage. It's the worst hard drive management file partition I've ever seen. Nothing but trouble with Macintosh 30 years ago. Never gone back to it. Never gone to it. Just got up. Did I miss the daily news? No, Charles, this isn't the news program. This is the BS program, the Chat Away program. Okay. You didn't miss any. You didn't miss any news. I did cover a little bit of news in here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Problem with this is it's just a handful of things. So I wonder if I can add another folder. All right. Well, it looks kind of utilitarian, but maybe it'll work weather. Cool. Guys, please be careful. Road rage. Man and sisters complex had a verbal altercation with a taxi driver. Drove after him. They drove over him repeatedly. He passed away. Wow, that's crazy. Well, the same thing happened recently in South Africa. We saw that one guy from Zimbabwe murdered some other guy, ran over with a baki repeatedly because he was sleeping with his girlfriend. She wasn't even remotely attractive. Jeez. Never used Apple for anything. Well, I used Apple when I was teaching at Iowa State University. We had Apples and PCs, and I had trouble with both. But the problem I had with the PCs is that these were the early days of macro viruses, and most people had never seen a macro virus. And in fact, initially I hadn't seen one, but my students would try to save a file and it wouldn't save because it corrupted the templates. And so I figured out what was going on by researching it and using common sense, and then finally found out that this is a new development in 1995, that people were writing macro viruses to attack Microsoft Office so you couldn't save anything in Excel, in Word. It was a mess. Yep. Raining, okay. Thanks, guys. So tragic. Huh. Got a channel with religious snippets from Trump's speeches and really is that open about his religion. He has been this term around since he survived an assassination attempt. Found an old beer mug with Springbok win 1970. See your WhatsApp pictures. I sent it to you. Okay. Beauty in the eye of the beholder. True, but I don't think the lady was attractive, so. Okay. Don't see it. Don't use Adobe Photoshop. It was cool to use until their prices. Yeah, I used to use Adobe. I had Adobe Acrobat, the full version, but they wanted $500. I can't pay that anymore. 2 assassins. All right, guys. Wow, 2 hours. Where does the time go? All right, let's hit the like button. Keeping my home in Mozambique so I can get close to my family. Okay. All right, I'll see you later in the day. It's Thursday, and we'll be back with the news a little bit later, okay? All right, thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. Do appreciate it. Don't neglect your husbands or wives by watching the Colonel. It's addictive and entertaining. Hey, be quiet. Get your husband and wife to watch it on their own device while you're watching on, okay? Don't be doing that. Don't be driving my audience away. We don't need any help chasing people away. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Cheers.